Rev Gallagher.
Scott Gallagher, proudly live in Garden City. I wasn't planning on speaking tonight. My mind is preoccupied also on a family issue that's going on right now. But there was a question from Mr. Ritter that I wanted to I think I can address some of that, and also to my colleague, Mr. Houston, on some things. When you all knew whenever you were going to have a presentation on the achievement gap that you'd have some feedback, and that's important to have feedback. Yeah, also, there's sometimes, I'm a Steeler fan, many of you are in the room. The Steelers this past year won some games they should have lost and lost some games they should have won. And I think that's the way that we can move forward with understanding the achievement gap. Sometimes we have wins that we don't earn. Sometimes we have losses even in spite of our best efforts. Statistically, there is an improvement for our African American students. But what wasn't in Dr. Wood's presentation is that being paralleled with the white students. Because if the white students have improved also, and the African American students have improved, the gap remains the same. And his focus is to be on the gap, not just on progress. Progress is great, but it also has to be a measure. We can make statistics say anything and all we want. I'm a pastor, trust me, I know how that's done. So if everybody's great, improves, that's just wonderful. But it can also be a sign of something else other than improvement for our African American students. It can be improvement in test preparation, reduction in anxiety, which both will produce better scores that we are measuring. As for community feedback, Mr. Ritter asked about feedback from the community, how that can be done. I'm glad to say, Dr. Chake, reached out to some of us in the community to put together a community advisory council. We had our first meeting. We are planning another meeting in March, and hopefully meeting every month to be able to give that community feedback, not just on the achievement gap issue, but to look at the other diversity issues that we have in the community, specifically the faith diversity that we have in our school, the LGBTQIA plus community that we have in the school. All of those type of things that build into what makes Gateway such a wonderful place to be, not just to live, but to be educated in. So all that type of thing, I wanted to make sure the public was aware that that is in existence, and you have my permission to publish my contact information. I know yours is all published and you get things, so I'll take some things too along the way if need be. But I do also hope that Dr. Woods can give us some more detail. It was a vague presentation, that it may have been just done in a rush, but I'd like a little bit more time. I think the community deserves a little bit more time to have some question and answer. I know I'm out of my time. I just want to say in conclusion that when we moved from Denora School District to Best Center, one of my daughters was nowhere near to the reading level she needs to be. We had a teacher that gave extra effort, and within 6 months, she was not only reading at the level she needed to be, but she excelled at that. The program that they gave her was something that she was interested in, that fit who she was, and it brought her up to the point that now she's not only a homeowner, she's an executive human relations person working with immigration department. So that little bit of extra push, even if we have a community that is transient, we can catch them. And if they move on to another school, we already got them ahead before they entered the other place. So I appreciate your efforts, and I look forward to hearing from the community and Dr. Wood.
Thanks, Reverend.
Thank you.